Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back once again for another exciting episode of Disney Compendium, Volume 31. I am your host, as usual, JJ. Over there, as always, my good friend Nick. Nick, how are you doing?
Doing great, JJ. We happen to have both seen the original and the remake of this movie over the
Yep.
past few weeks. So let's talk about Wishmaster, buddy.
Yes. Godzilla.
Oh, wishes.
Yeah.
There's a part where a skeleton jumps out of a man's body, and it's super gross.
But
No.
I think before we get into that, we just need to actually talk about what this episode's really all about, and that. So the Enchantress cursed a child in Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Is that what?
So either the prince was 11.
11, because the curse ends on his 21st birthday,
Yeah.
and based on everything I looked online, the general consensus is that the movie takes place 10 years after that.
Right.
And we know that the rose drops off at during the course of this movie. So so she cursed an 11-year-old, and vis-a-vis because of that, a newborn baby in Chip.
Chip's probably younger than 10, though.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Or she froze time, which makes the 21st birthday thing completely and totally pointless.
Yeah.
You could just say 10 years.
Yeah.
Or it's just a cartoon and I'm just ruining it for myself for no apparently real reason at all.
Yeah. Or, hear me out, Miss Potts procreated as a teapot.
As a teapot?
Yeah.
With who?
Cogsworth?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Actually, we're here to talk about the 31st Disney animated feature film coming out November 25th, just a month before Christmas, 1992, Aladdin. Come on in, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly.
We would say they'll cut off your ear if they don't like your face, but that part got edited out.
They changed that part. Almost instantly.
The cassette still had it on there.
I have the Disney Masterpiece Special Edition, which is these big, massive box sets that Disney put out for their Masterpiece videos. So it comes with a CD, a VHS, a making of VHS, a lithograph, a behind-the-scenes book, and everything. And the CD is the original take cut of that song too. So the version of this movie that I have on CD has the original lyrics for Arabian Nights, which
unedited.
It's
Aladdin raw and uncut.
Yeah. So I mean, this movie opens up. This is one where we just can jump because we're starting at the beginning with this, because it starts off with that song. It starts off with the Arabian Nights song, and it is where it went from the original version is where they'll cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Right.
To where it's flat and immense and the heat is intense. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. Still vaguely racist. Calling the Middle East barbaric. The people there basically barbaric, but less
the movie
so.
Itself is vaguely racist.
Yeah. I wouldn't even really vaguely even is like.
So when we watch this movie, you watch it. I think when did you watch it? A few days ago.
I would have watched it yesterday.
Yeah, probably. I watched it like a week ago. This maybe just missed Robin Williams.
Yeah, he's absolutely killing it. And this is him. This is like peak Robin Williams at this point. He's like cut his name out in film and everything. He's had some massive successes and not so successes. So I think Toys would have already been out by now or about to come out.
I think the year before he did Hook.
Yeah.
So this is like this not Mrs. Doubtfire era,
Yeah.
but it's close.
Yeah, but it's like post Good Morning Vietnam, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're in a good.
He's got his Oscar.
Yeah, you're in your peak Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it starts off with the song Arabian Nights,
Sung by Robin Williams.
sung by Robin Williams, and then you're introduced to the old peddler, which is again Robin Williams, where he's
What are you buying?
Yeah, yeah,
stranger.
got a lot of great deals for you, stranger. I'll buy that for a nice.
At a fine price. I don't need these red herbs, sir.
So we can also talk side by side because I know we both also just saw the live action remake of Aladdin.
Yeah,
I saw it last week, and you saw it yesterday.
I saw it Friday.
Yeah. So side by side we could sort of talk about it a little bit and some of the, because I was sort of like it is impressive how similar but also wholly different like they are. Like,
yeah,
all the plot beats are still there,
right,
but they kind of take a different road to them in a lot of cases.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of a spoiler at the beginning of the live action one.
Yeah, I'm like absolutely, but I mean,
if you don't see that thing coming a mile away, then I don't know to tell you. But
yeah, but at the same time, I think this will touch down if you haven't seen the Aladdin remake. Like, we're going to be talking about it. It's fresh in our minds.
Spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But really, the only thing that really changes too much is sort of how they go about the finale.
Yeah, and Genie's life after being a genie.
Yeah. So, but most of the road is just a more scenic route in the live action version, I guess. But yeah,
with dancing.
Yeah. So the peddler is the one sort of introducing you to the story.
Yeah.
I think both of these do a really good way of sort of like the reasoning behind it being a musical is essentially you are being told the story from the perspective of, in this original Disney animated one, the point of view of the peddler, who you're introduced with a song. He greets you with a song.
He's trying to lure you into his bazaar.
Yeah, and now when he's telling the story, he's got a song too, because that's just how he is. And in the remake, you're introduced to Will Smith on a boat with a family,
right?
And explaining and the kids wanting to hear the story of Aladdin, basically. And so it starts off with him breaking into a song, and then you cut into what's going on. Except I think it was cool how the Arabian Nights in the live action one is cut with the Jafar stuff.
Yeah.
It's like setting off the first experiment into the Cave of Wonders while this Arabian Nights song is playing.
Yeah.
Where instead you're introduced to it after the song in the cartoon.
Yeah, they kind of cut right to it. Like, okay, here, this is what happened. This guy's not the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
Frank Welker still the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you could tell. It's the same. He doesn't change anything.
Good for you, Megatron.
Yeah, I was Frank Welker. You see his name pop up because this is just his, his money zone is sort of inanimate
gravel voice,
grumbling. Yeah.
Yeah. Frank Welker, for you guys don't know, is the voice of Cave of Wonders in both Aladdins, but also more notably for me and JJ, he's Megatron.
Megatron, exactly.
Yeah.
The
G1 Megatron.
Yes. not Michael Bay Megatron. Who's
doesn't he do Starscream in that movie though?
I think he does, and I remember in the first one, Megatron is Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if he was that in the sequels, but
it
doesn't matter.
Hugo wouldn't even come back for Infinity War, so
yeah. It's funny. Spent a lot of time making Hugo Weaving not appear on screen or not look like Hugo Weaving. He's the Red Skull, so through 90% of the movie he's not doesn't look like Hugo Weaving, or V for Vendetta. He's in a mask.
He's never Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, he never gets to be Hugo.
He's only really Hugo Weaving in The Matrix and Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah. Like everything else, it's just like, we got to cover Hugo Weaving up whenever.
He might scare children, but that voice, my God.
Yeah. So we get the introduction to Jafar and him trying to get the lamp. I don't understand the Iago situation with him, where Iago's trying to pretend to not be completely fully sentient, I guess. Like it's so weird. In the live action Aladdin, he's just a regular old parrot. I mean, like he clearly has a little more
vocabulary.
Yeah, vocabulary, and he's got he's smart. I mean, like he's able to do more than just repeat back, but he still is mostly just repeating back. Like he's repeating back what he said, but like that he's supposed to be repeating back, like diamond in the rough, all that kind of stuff. But that's a way of him alerting him. It was like, hey, there's somebody here that you could probably use. He's not, so it's yeah.
In the vein of go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the vein of Transformers, he is Laserbeak.
Yeah, that's good. Oh my God. Yep. He's 100% Laserbeak. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
No, that was.
We're dorks, people. We're
he's 100% Laserbeak, where he really is just sort of like Jafar's sound waves, just sending him out into Agrabah to scout for whatever. The guy that plays Jafar in the live action one is fantastic.
Yeah, he plays like kind of evil dirtbag.
Yeah, like your introduction to him is legit just killing a guy. Like he just kicks him down. Like, well, then you're no use to me anymore. He kicks a dude down a well.
Yeah,
this
is Sparta.
Yeah, just Sparta's him, right? Yeah, just Gerard Butler's him right into the well. They didn't do the beetle charm.
No,
but he's like, he already knows where the Cave of Wonders is. When you meet him in the live action one, but in the cartoon, you get the scarab charm where he has half of it, and his little grunt that was looking for it found the other half, puts it together, it goes flying off, they chase after it, and it reveals where the Cave of Wonders is.
That's the second level of the game.
Yep. And so, he sends the grunt down there, but he dies because he needs to be a pure soul, pure heart, and diamond in the rough. Don't touch the treasure and all that stuff. So, I will. Yeah.
I will tell you one thing I did like more in the live action movie regarding Jafar is that he's like, in the live action version, he's like, I used to be a thief.
Yeah.
He establishes that pretty quick. Like, he used to be much like Aladdin.
Yeah.
But he just took a different path. And in the Disney versions, the cartoons never told how he moves up the ranks.
Yeah, you don't know how he got there, but I mean, like, he's a sorcerer. He's a wizardly guy, so I'm assuming manipulation and everything gets him up to that.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, but so now you're introduced in the cartoon to Aladdin.
Right.
So what, or is it not? It's not Aladdin first. Do you go to the Sultan and Jasmine first, trying to get to?
I think it might be the Sultan and Jasmine first in the cartoon.
Yeah, in the cartoon. Yeah. So you get it's like you have to be a prince.
Why? Because Jasmine.
It's the law. They cover some of that ground better in the live action one. But so you're introduced to the whole she has to marry a prince, and Jafar is doing his thing, and when you finally meet Aladdin, this is where you get one of the first actual like main event like musical numbers.
One jump ahead of the bread line.
Yeah. And it's a great song. It, like, really establishes the character very, very well. Um, him just sort of sneaking around, trying to escape the guards as he's trying to get away with the bread that he stole.
Yeah.
And
ultimately gives it to children.
Yeah, and
like
in the live action one, it's dates, and they have to basically the same joke of like Abu taking a bite, like, no, this is mine.
Well, he gives it to him because they were bad dates.
Yeah. But also Aladdin, like, he didn't steal the dates. He just stole stuff to get the dates.
Yeah.
And
he's hawking stuff.
Also the one jump song takes place during the Princess Jasmine getaway sequence.
Yeah.
Doesn't, like, in the live action one, not in the cartoon. And the cartoon is just the introduction to Aladdin, and then after the song's over, you know, you meet Jasmine. That's how it is. You get the one jump song, then you meet like Jasmine and the Sultan are arguing, and that's when she decides she's gonna run away.
Yeah. In the live action one, Jasmine's already out of the castle.
Yeah, Jasmine's already out of the castle. She's just sort of out there to experience the world outside the castle walls.
Mingle with her people.
And it does the same thing. She takes food for a hungry kid. It leads to, you know, a disturbance.
Yeah.
And so Aladdin helps Jasmine escape. I think the cartoon. I like how quickly Jasmine just sort of plays along with Aladdin's ruse, with like she thinks Sultan's the monkey.
It's my crazy sister.
Yeah, and she's like, and she's animated really well in that scene where she kind of goes wall-eyed.
Yeah,
and like, we gotta go to the doctor. Oh, hello, doctor, to the camel.
Yeah,
it's a good goof, and I like the way that she plays into it very fast. In the cartoon, you're now, as Aladdin's escaping with Jasmine back to his place, Jafar is trying to find who the diamond in the rough is. So he uses his crazy magic with Iago peddling a instrument.
Yeah.
To learn who the diamond in the rough is, and sees that it is Aladdin. That's who he should be looking for.
Yeah.
So he sends his guards out to capture Aladdin.
Who are also the palace guards, I guess?
Yeah, but like not, because like it's more explained in the live action one where they are on Jafar's take.
Yeah.
Like, they're his men, not the palace men, but like his men.
Yeah, Hakim is not on the take though.
Yeah, so it's like the palace guards are different because Jafar has been tasked to keep order in Agrabah, so those are his men. So it's like he's almost like he's the police chief. Thing. So Aladdin gets captured. Jasmine tries to free him using her like, I am the princess kind of thing. Like, oh well, it's like, well, take it up with Jafar because we're on his orders, the Sultan's. So Aladdin gets captured, and Jasmine, goes to Jafar. And Jafar tells her that, oh, well, he's been beheaded. Like,
we executed him
because he was kidnapped the princess. It's like, I wasn't kidnapped. Well, it's too bad. He's been beheaded. So now she's devastated because he was a sweet kid.
The dynamic between Jafar and Jasmine is different.
Yeah.
In the cartoon, he's very much like infatuated with Jasmine.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the live action one, he sees her as kind of an annoyance.
Yeah.
And maybe as a means to an end eventually, but like,
Yeah. But it's but what you find out is he's in the dungeon, obviously.
Yep.
And that's when a crazy old man in the dungeon uh, it explains the story to Aladdin of how to get out of here and what like if you want to impress the princess, like we can get you rich.
Yeah.
I just need a young man to help me out. And
I kind of missed that part in the live action one.
yeah, but I think I missed the part, but I think Jafar's plan is more sound
Yeah, that's true.
in the live action one. It's a much better idea of like because he's not coming across as trying to be deceitful to him. He's coming across as like, look, I was a thief too, and it shows him off by showing that he stole the bracelet or the hairpin or something. I forget what you call it.
But he pickpockets Aladdin.
Yeah, and it's just showing him like I was a thief too, and there's a way out of this life, and I can help you. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. So if you help me, I can help you, and it makes much more sense that way. Like, Aladdin just being trapped in a dungeon and this crazy old man.
Yeah,
like it makes less sense to just play along with it. But you're getting out. Like he's exposed that you can get out and shows you how. But once you're out, you really don't have to do anything. And the fact that you're believing that this old man is going to lead you to treasure is kind of silly. But
yeah,
I guess he is desperate and he's poor. So
yeah, he's like, what else? What option does he have?
Yeah. So they go out to the Cave of Wonders, and Aladdin does the whole step up to the Cave of Wonders, say who you are, diamond in the rough, can do it. Just don't touch any treasure but the lamp.
Touch nothing but the lamp.
Yes. And then curse Starscream.
Starscream, you moron!
So you get into the Cave of Wonders. That's a bad name. Cave of Wonders.
There's no wonder except for the treasure.
Yeah, there's a singular wonder.
Yeah.
And it's this. So
Cave of Lava. That's what it is.
I like the I'll get to it in a second. This is where you find the magic carpet almost instantly. Abu in both versions is just immediately smitten by all treasure.
Yep.
And is a constant threat to Aladdin's well-being in this scenario.
They find magic carpet and Steppenwolf kicks in.
Yeah. I do like that. So when they find magic carpet in the live action one, he's trapped under the rock.
Yeah.
And that's just something that happens by happenstance later on in the animated one. So it's just like same scene, different route. I don't know how interacting with the carpet doesn't count. Like,
yeah,
it's in the Cave of Wonders, and it's theoretically a treasure.
Yeah,
like it is a magic lamp, but
because it's sentient, maybe.
I guess.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it also has carpet been. Sorry, has carpet been trapped into the rock the whole time? Just waiting for Aladdin to show up.
Yeah, basically, as far as we can tell. So you have the magic carpet. It's like is there, and the carpet is phenomenally animated. Like it has emotion for a carpet. Like you can actually feel it. Like the little tassels have animation, and posture, and everything. Like I was impressed with the carpet's animation.
You tell when he's happy, when he's downtrodden. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, so when they meet the lamp in the cartoon, they're like, hey, do you know where the magic lamp is? Yeah, I know where the magic lamp is, and leads them off to it. There's not much drama in the, like, Aladdin is focused. He's not he's not going to touch any of the treasure. He's going straight for the lamp. He walks up the 10,000 stairs to the lamp.
Yeah.
Getting his cardio in for the day. And
swaps a sandbag for the lamp.
Goes up there, gets the lamp, and as he's getting the lamp, Abu is going for a gem. Carpet is trying to stop him. Doesn't work. Abu gets the jewel, and all hell literally breaks loose.
Yep.
yeah, the Cave of Wonders is now cursing at him, telling him,
The lava escape happens where you have to like push up and then down and then the middle. That whole level is just a nightmare.
yeah. I can't remember. It's easier in the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, you mean the worst version? I will fight anybody who tells me different.
You're getting now it's an escape scene. Everything I like the effect of when the lava starts coming out and it starts
Yes.
melting the statue.
Yeah.
This scene, the whole escape scene, makes heavy use of CG.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
like you're kind of blown away. Like watching it, it's like, oh, the Cave of Wonders is completely CG. Like
Yeah.
like I kind of forgot that the Cave of Wonders is completely CG. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, it's completely CG. And then the escape scene is 100% CG. Like it's 3-dimensional CG in some instances. Like
It looks like a really fun ride.
yeah, like it looks like a Star Tours kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Simulator ride. Yeah. They're zipping through corridors. It's like that one level in Star Fox.
Right.
Star Fox 64, the Egyptian escape thing, where
Yeah, Aladdin has to shoot Andros's floating brain.
yeah, it's only if you took the hard path.
Why would you not go the hard path?
Because you're just in there to kill some time. You're just taking them. I haven't seen these levels in a while, so I'll go this way. So as he gets to the escape, it's the whole. It plays out exactly the same, except without the whole old man shtick in the live action one, where it's like, like he's about to make it out. He's like, "Give me the lamp," and he's like, "Fine, here's the lamp." And then he's betrays Aladdin. But thanks to Abu, Jafar's attempt to murder Aladdin is thwarted, and Abu gets the lamp back, although you don't know that right away. You know it in the live action one because you see it happen.
Yeah.
But in the cartoon, they keep it kind of a secret. He
pickpockets Jafar.
He pickpockets Jafar and gets the lamp. And so so Aladdin's trapped in there. Jafar doesn't have the lamp, and he's, they're both screwed essentially at this point. Jafar just wants. It's unclear what Jafar wants in the cartoon. Like, just power, just sort of like just like non-directional power. It's power in general.
He's just
like
I would say ambitious, but like just
in the live action one, he very clearly just wants to control Agrabah.
Yeah,
like that's all he wants. Like it's his goal is to be Sultan by like just in any way, shape, or form, like take over. So like that, so Jafar has a little more direction in his cause.
Yeah,
but also just being a megalomaniacal madman in the cartoon works too. I'm not saying one's better than the other because he just wants the lamp because it can give him whatever he wants, whatever that may be when he feels like it at the time.
It also, like, I mean, he's more focused in the live action one, but also he's thinking smaller. Like, you have the genie of the lamp, dude.
Yeah.
This is one little town.
There is something when we get to the end, I'm like, some weird stuff that could have gone differently. Yeah. Now Aladdin's trapped in the Cave of Wonders. Never do we ever actually see that there's anything written on the lamp. So he's like, it seems like there's something written on here, and tries polishing and buffing it out so you can read it. But as far as we can tell, there's never any hint that there's anything written on the lamp in any version of this. So it was just an excuse. Like, how do we get him to rub the lamp by accident, like to free the genie the first time? And that was just like the easiest way of doing it.
Whoever wields this lamp shall, if he be worthy.
Yeah. He tramps. I don't know what the hell that
He tramps around.
He tramps around.
He is a tramp. Aladdin's a tramp.
Because I was thinking like, so he's trapped and rubs lamp, and that was just sort of
Okay.
like that one sentence combined into just one word.
Aladdin loves
tramp.
lamp.
Yeah.
He loves lamp.
Yeah. So yeah, he frees the genie by rubbing
Right.
the lamp. And this is where you're introduced to the just for the rest of the movie, just takes complete control of that screen with Robin Williams genie. First appearance is basically 35 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
Which like, oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't come into this, and this is only like an hour and a half. So like, you only get you get about an hour, a little less than an hour of genie time.
But he's all you want to see from this point forward.
Yeah, from this point forward is genie. So he's instantly out of the lamp, just throwing out lines left and right, pop culture references that make no sense in it.
Yep.
And
it must have been insane to try to, for the animators, like, oh god.
Yeah, just try to like, oh boy.
Yeah.
But so this is where you get the introduction of the genie with also one of your favorite lines in this whole segment is the infinite cosmic power.
Limit space.
Yep.
1,000 years can give you such a crick in the neck.
Yeah. Just yeah. So yeah, you're introduced to the genie. You're introduced to the rules of the lamp. He breaks into like one of the most like fantabulous songs they've ever written for Disney.
Possibly the most fun Disney song, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's absolutely one of the most fun Disney songs. The You Never Had a Friend Like Me.
Right.
And it is a hoot of a song. And Robin Williams is just giving it his all.
Yeah.
And you can only assume that there's like 8,000 takes of this song. I like his use of inflection, like with his voice, because he'll like change things. Like, we pride ourselves on service. Yeah,
you're the boss, the king, the Shah. Yeah,
like he changes his accent. He changes how he's singing, like constantly. Like it's so good. It's so fun. I do like the Will Smith version. I think it's really good.
It is good. There's obviously less they can do with actual people.
Yeah. And somebody with like Will Smith doesn't have the like overabundance of personality that Robin had. But
you can tell he's having fun though.
Yeah. Are you blowing in my ear for a reason?
Sorry, I was moving. But edit that part out.
Yeah. Go back in.
What, sorry?
It's like I've edited like 3 episodes in the history of it, and one of them is because I cursed. I think another one was because you cursed.
There you go. That sounds good.
And I think the only other time is where we lost we lost audio feed completely.
Yeah, that would have been insert episode name here.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos.
Mr. Black.
Yeah. So you get the, and I think Aladdin's ruse of getting out of the Cave of Wonders is much better in the cartoon than live action. Because in the cartoon, it's just him like playing with Genie's ego, like I don't know. It's like it seems all a little too good. Like I bet you can't even get us out of this cave, and so Genie immediately just like, oh yeah, I'll show you.
Gets him out of the cave. In the live action one, it's a technicality.
Yeah, because they establish in the live action one that you have to actively be rubbing the lamp.
Yeah.
To make the wish,
and then say I wish.
And say I wish. But you have to sort of say I wish. They sort of established that in the cartoon too, but it's the whole hands on the lamp, you have to be rubbing it part. So they sort of threw some sleight of hand in the live action one. Like Abu takes the lamp as he's making so I could say like I wish to get us out of this cave or whatever, and and so it gets him out of the cave, and like, well, I wasn't actually rubbing lamps. They rewind the footage and of the movie, and I was like, oh, all right, well, you
You
got
got
me on
me.
this one, but we're not doing this game anymore. And they both say that, like, in this, like, all right, it's cheap, but you got me this one time, but we're
Yep.
gonna play this by the books from here on out.
Yep.
Um, so, yeah, so you get now you're actually getting ready to be introduced to his first wish.
Yep.
In the cartoon, they go to an oasis, which is cool. They're just kind of in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Live action one, far less appealing location for this to be taking place. But yeah, so uh, Aladdin, trying to figure out what his first wish is, asks the genie, like, I don't know what to wish for. What would you wish for?
Right.
And that's where you get the genie explaining, and both of them, like, oh, nobody's ever asked me that before. I guess I'd wish for my freedom, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it plays out pretty much. Both the live action and the cartoon play out virtually identically, like
I
with very similar line delivery and
yeah.
everything.
I do like that the genie, the Will Smith genie, kind of steers him away from power a little bit. Like, hey
Yeah,
man, I know this is how this
yeah.
goes.
He plays like he likes Aladdin. Like you could tell that, like, because Aladdin asked him, like, well, what would you wish for, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, so you could tell he's like, I like this kid. He's just young and brash. So he sort of steers him into, like, there's like the monkey paw situation.
Right.
Which, for anyone that's not familiar with the monkey paw, it's, make the wish on the monkey paw. It's like, yeah, your wish will come true, but if you're not specific enough, there's always going to be like an outcome, that undesired outcome of it.
The
So,
turkey's a little dry. The turkey's a little dry.
exactly. And so then he goes in even further detail in the live action one. Like, yeah, he's explaining, like, listen, I know how this works. Like, you want money and it's never enough, so then you want more, that kind of stuff. A bit like when he's like, now when you say make me a prince, I can make you a prince, and like snaps his fingers and a prince like teleports
Yeah.
into the view. And so he's explaining the rules. Like with in the cartoon, it's just a very simple, like, it's like, could you make me a prince? Because he was going to ask to make, because like he wasn't going to ask for Jasmine to fall in love with him, because that's one
Because
he can't. The rules are like can't wish for more wishes.
Bring anybody back from the dead.
Can't bring back anyone back from the dead, and he can't make anyone fall in love with you.
Yeah. I do like in the cartoon where he does a little Peter Lorre impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's constantly doing character impressions.
Yeah.
In this. And I just feel like it's one of those things, like, we can't stop him. Like,
Yeah.
he's just going to keep doing it. Like, nobody told him to be Groucho Marx, but here he is. He's coming out there as Groucho Marx. So, it's like, did we say come out there and be Ed Sullivan? No, there's nowhere in the script that says be Ed Sullivan, but there he is being an Ed Sullivan character. So now we have to animate him as Ed Sullivan.
You have to wonder, like, how much, like you said, they probably did multiple takes.
Yeah.
Like, how much, like, oh man, we just can't put all of that in.
Yeah. I was like, we appreciate it, but like, we can't. We appreciate the effort, Robin, but we just can't. And to think about how little he made for this movie, like he's all in, and his paycheck for the movie was only $75,000.
There's a reason he wasn't in the second movie.
Yeah, because he took to as sort of a he did the union minimum to work on this movie. We'll get to that in a little bit because there's a lot to talk about with some of this stuff. So yeah, so he wishes to become a prince, and in the cartoon, it's just like, can you make me a prince? And he's going through the book with a Sebastian cameo.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Disney cameos in this. You have a Sebastian cameo in this scene. There's a Pinocchio cameo earlier. He's about to make a Dumbo reference in a couple of minutes when he turns Abu into an elephant.
Some of the Sultan's toys, one of them's Beast.
Yeah. He's wearing a goofy hat at the end. So there's a lot of Disney jokes in here. Just like, this movie breaks a lot of Disney rules.
Yeah.
And it's better for it, I think. But
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so he becomes So yeah, he wishes to be a prince. Uh, and this is now in the cartoon before you're introduced to Prince Ali. You get Jafar um, thinking about like how to go forward from here. You know, he needs more,
Yeah.
he wants more power, and where Iago suggests, "Why don't you marry Jasmine?"
Yeah.
um, their relationship, Iago and Jafar's relationship, is kind of fun in this because they really get along. Like,
Yeah. Two like disagreeable characters, and
yeah, it's like they get along and they make each other like laugh and they like, you know, they're chummy with one another.
we sure are evil, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting because you're so used to the villains sort of having their lackey be sort of abused, you know, like whether it be like in next week's movie, the hyenas getting, you know, just sort of being constantly abused by Scar or whatever, you know, you get,
Right.
yeah, you're so used to the lackey being, you know, in part of an abusive. It's
The
not really
little goblin from Black Cauldron.
yeah, like Cauldron things exactly. Um, but like no, it's pretty like symbiotic relationship that they have going on. Like they really seem to get along. Like they get in arguments, but like
Yeah.
they're really getting along. So he's like I love your evil mind, Bianca. The way your twisted evil mind works. Like it's a good idea. We're gonna do
Uh,
that. I'm gonna marry Jasmine.
a little quick aside about Iago. And the animated version, which we're talking about,
Yeah.
Gilbert Godfrey,
Yeah.
uh, problematic person.
Problematic personality these days.
And then in the live action, Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk, who
He's a leaf on the wind.
yeah, well, he was oh, what's the android, the droid in Rogue One? I forget, like KS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's him as well. Like, oh well, he's in bed with Disney totally now.
Yeah.
Iago in the live action one, as we said earlier, is more bird than sort of.
Yeah.
Bird. So it's funny that it's him because it's like I Am Groot, where it's like, yeah, he's saying the lines, but did it have to be? It could have just been Frank Welker, and nobody would have known anything. Like you don't recognize that that's who it is in the movie as you're watching it until the credits roll, and you're like, oh, really? All right.
Yeah. I had an IMDb it like after I got out. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So Jafar has his evil plot in motion. He comes to the Sultan with like the town charter. Like I'm thinking of the episode of The Simpsons where they bring the town charter in with Wiggum.
Ducks do have to wear pants.
Exactly. Gets a ham or whatever. Like
Yeah.
but like basically saying like, okay, so if she doesn't find a if a prince isn't found, then like or agrees to any of them, then it's the king's decision, and then like it defaults to whatever his title is to the king. It already.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'll help you out, man. I'm doing it for you, Sultan.
Yeah, I'm doing it for you, Sultan. I'll marry Jasmine if you need to. I do like the scene afterwards when when the Sultan kind of falls for Prince Ali. Like it's like well, good news for you. You won't have to marry Jasmine after all. Like,
yes.
yeah, but do you ever feel like at some point in history, like Tim Curry was like,
To be supposed to be Jafar.
yeah, because like he's kind of animated, kind of like him a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it seems like he has a bit of like some of that screen presence that like yeah, Tim Curry probably could have been cast at this at some point. Like
I don't know, it might have been too overwhelming to have Tim Curry's voice and Gilbert Gottfried's voice bouncing off each other,
working together, a buddy movie. Tim Curry, Gilbert Gottfried.
It's like overstimulated a little bit, like
On top of, and then just like in like 30 seconds, you're gonna get just more Robin Williams on screen.
Yeah, it's like people just trying to top each other.
Yeah, just powerful personalities all at once. Um, but I do remember the line of "I'm so upset, I'm molting."
I'm
Uh,
malting.
that
Yeah.
was like a catchphrase in the universe for like a
Yeah.
year. People were saying that, like if they got angry, that was what they were doing. It's like it permeated pop culture in such a weird way. um,
It was in the trailer too, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now after all of Jafar's plan is made uh, known, you are introduced to Prince Ali. Um,
Fabulous
big
He,
big
Alibaba.
musical number with Prince Ali song. Um, in the live action one, they change it so it's Prince Ali like of
Yeah.
Ababwa, as opposed to it just being it's his name
Yeah.
in cartoon. It's Ali Ababwa,
Yeah.
and in the live action one, it's Ali of Ababwa. So
Yeah.
like, the kingdom is Ababwa. Um, I still don't understand. It's like the curse. Like he wished to be a prince, not to be princely. Like
Well, I think
theor-
maybe
theoretically, his wish should have created a kingdom somewhere.
yeah.
Where did all these people come from, kind of thing. So,
Yeah. I just
um,
I was waiting for a gag when he said he wanted to be Prince. Like he's just dressed in all purple. It's just Prince.
yeah, yeah. In either version, it would have played out well too. Like in the Disney version, it would have made sense because that's what, or well, like even like, or like when he was doing the in the most in the live action one, he goes through a lot of different costumes for him.
Yeah.
Like if at some point it was like the prince, like purple velvet,
Yeah. With rough ruffles and
and yeah, and Jerry curl or something, like. But no, yeah, they never touched down on that at all. It's an easy joke, and they didn't go for it, and I
no.
guess I respect it in that sense.
And so the Animaniacs nailed it later on.
Yeah, like the Animaniacs made the one Prince joke in a cartoon that will ever work, and
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 it's questionable then, and it's questionable now.
yeah, a filthy joke then, filthy joke now,
Yep.
and will never be filthy. Um, and we're not going to say it. You're just going to have to make
No.
that one. I haven't seen it. Um, so yeah, Prince Ali, Mighty Ali Ababwa.
You
Uh,
you told me that you like that there's something lost in the live action version,
yeah,
and I think you're right.
I don't think like there was the clip that came out before the movie came out, and it comes across as like wholly soulless. I don't think in the final version it comes across as soulless. I think the deeper you get into that song and it starts amping up a little more and more,
Yeah.
it gets life to it. But like you do lose something with Robin Williams doing his changing voices and everything, and
Yeah.
the sort of exuberance of having it be a cartoon, and he's constantly changing into other characters and other animals and doing all sorts of different things. And
What
like I
like
always
one of my
one of my favorite moments of the song, and it's the stupidest moment, and it just for whatever reason it stuck out with me the most. It's when he does the 100 bad guys with swords,
yeah
kid. When he turns
yeah
into a kid for a second, yeah, he fought the Galvin hordes.
my favorite one is always is still this day like when he does like the Rose Parade announcers
Yeah,
because like as somebody who watches like the Macy's Parade, the Rose Parade every year,
yeah.
like that's totally like I forget her name,
Oh,
but like he
yeah.
very much nailed those two
Oh,
people.
yeah. He nailed that
Yeah,
completely. You don't get any of that. I mean, at best in the live action one, he goes basically in drag,
yeah,
which is the same. In the cartoon, Genie becomes a woman in the balcony uh, for a couple of lines of the song, and Will Smith does the same thing uh,
yeah,
in this one, and that's the only time you sort of really get that from the Genie. He doesn't really present himself very differently. Like he's like the human Genie, and that's it. Like
yeah,
he doesn't like disguise himself as anything else, but like in the cartoon he's constantly changing and constantly doing something else. Like he turns into the bee later on, and
yeah.
you know all kinds of like all the celebrity stuff and all that stuff. But like,
Yeah, the live action one's more of a Mardi Gras parade.
yeah, with a lot of confetti.
Yeah,
I do like the scene where he's like trying to get the Sultan, like, we're waiting for you.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
Because in the cartoon, like the Sultan is like all in right away. He's like
yeah.
trying to get to the door, and in this one, like the Sultan's trying to like no sell it, be straight faced, but can't
That's
help
something.
himself.
That's something we've discussed. That we like the Sultan a lot better in the live action
Yeah,
version.
I think the live action Sultan's a better character. He feels more Sultan like.
Yeah, he's like like a person, not like some dopey little guy.
Yeah, it's not like because it's like it's the same character that they've been doing. It's like
Yeah,
Belle's dad. It's Maurice. It's it's like this, any king that's been in any of these movies, like from Snow White or
yeah.
or
Cinderella.
not Cinderella, yeah, Sleeping Beauty, things like that, where it's like the king character is just like the doting, like dopey father character, and then you have the like in the live action one, like he feels like a sultan and he feels like a
Yeah,
dad, but he also feels like he's in control of an entire country,
right.
or kingdom in this case, I guess. But like,
He's
that
also
this,
very by the book.
yeah, it makes it plays into the sort of like stereotyping a lot stronger, and
Yeah,
sort of it tries to make a play for that part of the story being sort of questionable from the cartoon, where it's just
right.
like just play along with what is perceived as how these people are, kind of thing. So in this one, it is like there is like Jasmine wants to be the sultan, but she can't be the sultan because that's not how it is, and she's trying to change things. In this one, it really is just sort of like nothing changes at the end. It's just like,
No,
yeah,
no, okay, okay. You're the Sultan, sure.
yeah. So yeah, I forget where we were on this. So yeah,
But
The
yeah,
Prince Ali song takes place. It gets him his Jasmine. Uh, in
he
the live action version, absolutely the funniest scene in the entire movie.
he bombs that introduction so badly.
Yeah, just like get off jams.
He goes up, yeah, like he's presenting gifts to the Sultan and Jasmine, and
Yeah.
like he goes out of a tangent about the jams he's brought them.
Yeah, and it's just like the shrimp scene from Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
He starts rambling off every kind of jam he can think of, and Will Smith is trying to lead him towards anything else other than this.
yeah,
Like it was giving me genuine, like I was laughing. I was laughing
yeah.
genuinely.
Where he tells him like, the lamp is cold and dark and small, and I would still rather be there than watch this again.
Yeah, that is the most embarrassed I've ever been in my entire life. It's good. Um, they go about Jasmine hating Prince Ali in different ways,
Yeah,
because in the cartoon, it's just sort of she gets irritated that the three of them are sort of talking about her without her present and treating her
yeah.
like a prize.
She
And
says,
it's
"I'm not a prize to be won."
yeah, and I do like in the live action one where it is things like where they play into the uncomfortableness of like, do you think you just come here and buy me with gifts? Yes. I mean, no, like,
Yeah,
but
like you're not good at this, dude.
yeah. In the live action one, it goes into a very big like Bollywood dance number.
Yeah,
It's actually very cool.
I
Like,
liked it.
yeah, and Genie is sort of controlling him from the distance, um, but goes too far
Yeah,
and like makes him just like dance too good. And like I do like it's the backflip was too much, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. He's just doing too many high spots. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you tell a story and slow it down out there, brother.
Just superstar Billy Graham is not happy with this version with Aladdin in this. Uh,
Oh, my liver, man.
but so yeah, so Aladdin needs to basically apologize to Jasmine, and um, in the cartoon, it's just as simple as sort of getting a pep talk from the genie and then taking the lamp or the rug
Yeah.
up to the carpet, up to Jasmine, and that's when you get into a whole new world sequence. Like
Right.
the whole "You Trust Me"
Yeah.
plays a significant
Scat,
role.
good tiger.
Yeah,
Not the line that everybody heard.
not the other controversial Disney line that everyone thinks. Yeah. So yeah, the "Do you trust me?" I do like that stays in
Yeah.
both versions. So like he says in the market when they're trying to escape, "Do you trust me?" in both versions, and then it comes back in this scene too, like "Do you trust me?" And so that's when she learns like, oh, this is that street urchin that I met that's supposed to be dead.
Yeah. Well, in the cartoon, it takes her longer to figure it out.
I don't think so.
No.
No, I think she knows when she gets on the carpet
Yeah.
because she recognizes it right away. It's like, do I know you? Like right away because she's trying to get the tiger away
Yeah.
with his hat, and it's
Raja.
like it didn't. Yeah, Rajan. So it's like it hits her first. Like, do I know you?
Yeah.
No. And then when he does the, do you trust me? You could see it sort of dawn on her a little bit. Like, yeah. And I think it is like at that point she knows.
It's like she's like, I'm not Lois Lane, bro.
Yeah. Because when they land, she immediately says like, "Oh, it's too bad Abu couldn't be here."
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, yeah, he's afraid of heights. And the carpet is over there like, oh, and it's basically the same way in live action. This whole scene. This is another scene that benefits more from being a cartoon than live action. Something about this. The song is still great, and it's both. It's just as good in the live action one as it is in the cartoon. I think it's, it's great. But there's something inherently awkward about two real human beings on this animated carpet flying on green screen, basically. Mm-hmm. Like you can only do so much with it. And I'm not saying it's a bad scene. I am not a effects purist of like practical effects always kind of thing. But
that would look bad with practical effects.
Yeah, like there's no practical effects you could do, and like the only way like you could make this a more like cartoon accurate is if you went more surrealist with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like some sort of like weird like Alice in Wonderland style like acid trip or something.
Yeah. Do you trust me? Swallow these.
Yeah, like the only way I think you could have made the live action version like visually striking is if you sort of made the landscape that they're flying over a little more like non-realistic. Like, sort of, but you can't.
It works. It works.
Yeah. It's fine, but there's something you lose something with this. Like in the cartoon, because of everything's animated and everything is being created specifically for the scene, and there's a lot more you can do with the medium since you don't have human actors involved. It just comes across as so much like more, I don't know, emotional in some way.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. The song is, well, it's up there with Beauty and the Beast as far as like Disney love songs.
Yeah, I think it probably gets more play.
Yeah,
I think it's a more universal love song.
Yeah,
than Beauty and the Beast, because Beauty and the Beast one sort of plays to a very specific sort of like all men are beasts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or a whole new world is just like we're going on this new journey together. It's like a wedding song.
Oh, it was very much a wedding song in the mid-90s.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it still is today. To this day.
Yeah.
It's been like now more than ever, probably.
I don't know if you can hear that. There's thunder outside, so.
I know I can't hear it.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know. I wasn't really. I'm too busy listening to myself talk. To be perfectly honest.
So if you hear a noise, that's what it is. That's something.
Yeah, sure. You're just ripping. Yeah. You're just ripping in the room. You just.
It's not Godzilla.
Yeah. So after the whole carpet ride and all that stuff, like, well, why are you lying to me? All that stuff. It's like, well, he's perpetuating the lie.
Yeah.
Although technically, again, theoretically, it shouldn't be a lie because he wished to be a prince, and
Yeah.
theoretically, he's a prince. But yeah, he's perpetuating the lie. I just didn't want to, be known about here. That kind of like.
Yeah, it's the same. The live action is like, I'm just kind of scouting it out, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. They sort of take the same route, just go about it differently.
Right.
As to his sort of excuse and what's going on. So he's still perpetuating the lie. So after they get back, they have their kiss moment and everything. And then Aladdin is immediately captured by Jafar's guards.
Yep.
In the live action one, it's a good joke because he is captured in the exact same way as he was captured the first time around.
Yeah.
And like
by the guards. Yeah.
it's good. And this one, he just gets he just gets like ambushed by the guards.
Yep.
And
Because Jafar has kind of figured it out.
He's figured out now. At this point, he knows that Aladdin has been using the lamp, because Jasmine has said basically to him once I'm because once I'm in charge, you're out of here. And he's sort of having a breakdown at this point, both, and that's what he realizes. Like, it's that Aladdin, it's that urchin. He got the lamp and he's using it.
I love in the cartoon version where he goes, Prince of Boo Boo.
Prince of Boo Boo. Yeah, I wish that was a running gag in the new one.
Jafar in live action wasn't as much for laughs, though.
He didn't have. I'm trying to think if he had like a single joke.
No,
I don't think he did.
No.
He gets captured, and in the live action one, it's like an interrogation scene.
Right.
And this one, it's just straight murder scene.
Yeah. Just throw him in the water.
Yeah, kill him, throw him in the, hit him with a Stevie Ray slapjack.
Yeah.
And
sucker's guts to know.
Yeah, and sack him in the river and let's get out of here. And it's basically the same outcome in both versions. He's interrogating him in the live action and just murders him in the cartoon. Just outright murders him in the cartoon. He's not trying to get any information from Aladdin.
In both cases, he ends up just in the river or ocean or wherever it is.
In a massive body of water.
Yeah.
And in both cases, the lamp is down there with him, and he's trying to get to it and can't, and just sort of by happenstance, the lamp is able to touch him so he can get the genie out. These scenes are almost identical to one another because it's the same thing. It's like, genie comes out and there's like a shower scene or whatever. And it is like, oh, come on, you got to say, I wish for you to free me. You can't go. We have to go about this the right way, man. And he can't do it. But I think I like the way he does it more in the live action one, where he makes him like do the contract.
Yeah.
Like his hands bound, like just sign this right here. This legally binding, as opposed to just
close enough.
Close enough. Let's get out of here. So Aladdin, after a murder attempt, gets freed. And this is where Aladdin returns to the palace to be like, nah, he tried to kill me. I didn't run away. Don't listen to him. He's trying to make it seem like, because Jafar is making it seem like Prince Ali has left, like fleeing in the night kind of thing. Like,
right.
He wasn't here for you.
There's also a part where he's kind of like, well, I didn't ask you to save me, so the whole thing about freeing you, no.
Yeah. And so now Genie is... at this point, At this point, Genie knows that Aladdin's not going to make the wish for him.
Yeah.
Because he needs to sort of. It's different in. It plays out differently. In the cartoon, it's more of a look. The only reason I'm here is because of you, and if I give up that third wish, this could come crumbling down at any time, and I'm going to need that third wish, to help save that or whatever. And in the cartoon, it's more of a um, desperate attempt to sort of save it, save
Yeah.
it. Um, and in both, the genie is just like, well, then screw you. I'm going back to the land. Just tell you need me. I'm not going
Well,
to
actually,
hang out with you anymore.
technically, in the live action one, the Will Smith genie, he's like, I never really cared about that wish.
Yeah,
Like he's like, but in the animated one, Robin Williams is like basically, you welched. Okay, then, great.
yeah, yeah. Because when this scene happens in the cartoon, everything's going great.
Yeah,
Jafar's been booted out, and Jasmine is just um, all right, we're gonna get married, kind of
yeah,
stuff. And so everything's great. And so like Aladdin really is just backing out now at this point. Like he really is just like, nah, I'm gonna save the wish because I may need it because Jasmine may turn on me. And in the um, live action one, it's more of a, everything's gone to hell, and I'm
yeah,
probably gonna need this third wish to fix it, to try to save face and do all that, like fix this already broken problem because Jafar is working on a plot. Um, so, like, same situation is playing out, just they're going about it a different way. The genie in the live action one is a little less disturbed by it. Like, I figured.
yeah.
Like, it's like, whatever. This is what I knew was going to happen. This is whatever. Um, but yeah, so Aladdin's broken his promise to the genie. Um, Iago now has stolen the lamp because Aladdin got in a fight with um, the genie and like just put the lamp under a pillow.
Yep, but then
And so yeah, Iago brings the lamp to Jafar, and Jafar now has control of the lamp. The um, live action one is I'm assuming it's an homage to the old man sequence when he steals the lamp from Aladdin.
oh yeah,
Because it's very much sort of like an old man bumping into him and pickpocketing him because he used to be a thief too.
right.
So I'm assuming it's supposed to sort of play into that homage.
But
It,
it's really well done though. How he just
yeah, I like that he's the one. He took matters into his own hands and using his own thieving knowledge to take the lamp worked really well. Um, so yeah, Jafar in the cartoon wastes no time at all making wishes.
nope. He's like
He
already like,
rubs,
let's do it.
yeah, he rubs the lamp and immediately wishes to become sultan. I don't know. It's a very weird wish to like. I want to be sultan. Like, what does that mean?
That's a sultan of what?
Yeah, because you didn't say you wanted to be a sultan of Agrabah. You just said like, make me the sultan. Like, yeah, you could be a sultan, just like I made Aladdin over here a prince. He didn't get a kingdom. I just made him look like a prince. I'm just making you look like a sultan.
Yep, I want to be the sultan. Great, you're Rikishi with a face mask on, and
And they play into that in the live action one because you have the one palace guard that like I serve the sultan, and then like and then you have Jasmine's song "Speechless" in the live
yeah.
action, which is a very good song.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't appear in the cartoon in any way,
No,
shape, or form.
but it is kind of it's good song, but it took me out of the movie a little bit because it's like, wait, all these
because
guys are just disappearing, and
because it takes place in like some
her
sort of
head,
pocket dimension
yeah,
imagination, like her doing this,
right,
and then back to reality where she um, uh, basically is like it's like he's not the sultan. Like just because he's wearing a funny hat and sitting on the throne doesn't make him the sultan. Who do you really serve? Like and that's when in the live action one, um,
Hakeem,
yeah, And so, like, and then the live action one, this is where you get like Jafar realizing it's like, oh yeah, that's right. I can't just like, oh yeah, okay, well, I'm Sultan, but now I'm also the most powerful sorcerer. Um,
He tries to make Jasmine fall in love with him, even though Genie tells him that's not possible.
yeah. So that's when he wants to become like a the most powerful sorcerer kind of nonsense. Um, and when I like it in the uh, this is like one of my favorite parts of the cartoon, which is wholly missing from the live action one, is when uh, Jafar exposes Aladdin.
Yeah.
Because it is some cold blooded, cold as ice stuff where he steals Aladdin's song.
Yeah.
He takes Aladdin's song and does the Prince Ali reprise, where it's yeah, yes, like yes, it is Prince Ali, but not as you know him.
Yeah. He just like check this out. Bam.
Yeah, yeah, just like a mic drop moment where he's like, "Look,
Yeah.
it's Aladdin," and I like I like the way it wraps up. Like his personality flaws give me adequate cause. Like his assets are frozen, and
Like the part where he's just using puns to do terrible things, like things
yeah,
are unraveling now.
yeah,
Carpet
and
unravels.
yeah, and when he's got Aladdin hanging upside down and just gives him a slap,
Yeah.
like, ooh, Jafar just really just being a grade A jerk in this. I like it a lot. It's like
Yeah.
in this one, it's just sort of he just exposes Aladdin, and then they do the same thing where they send him off to Antarctica.
Yeah. Or
Go hang out.
somewhere.
Go hang out. Like he's either going to use the carpet to escape or free King Ghidorah. And
I like how though in the animated one where he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give Jasmine a skimpy outfit. Actually, it's just her same outfit but red, and she's got a ponytail. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, Jafar.
all right, man, what you
He
do,
just like
I guess.
he
Yeah,
just likes the color red.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, he's dressed in red always. When he turns
Yeah.
into a genie, he's bright red. Like, yeah, I guess
He's Eva Marie, JJ, all red everything.
already. Um, I do like, and I love that the way they go about the third wish for Jafar is didn't you say when you went to go see the live action one that the Jafar's transformation sequence like really got to your kid?
Scared my son, scared the hell out of him. We're consoling him and they're like, hey buddy, he's gonna kill Jafar. He's gonna destroy Jafar. He's like, I don't want to watch and I die.
But yeah, I like the tricking that goes on in both versions. I think it comes across a little better in the live action one because they play into there's because they kind of go into deeper detail as to why he should be turn into a genie. Because
they both uses Jafar's avarice.
yeah, because they mention you're my number two, like you're always number two. You're always behind the Sultan. Earlier in the movie in the live action one, and they do it again. It's like, yeah, you're the most powerful sorcerer, but you're always going to be number two because the genie is more powerful than you, and all it'll take is any schmuck to get the lamp, and they can compete with you. You're never going to be number one.
Right.
And that's when he wishes himself to become all powerful, and gets turned into a genie. And everything that comes with being a genie,
including being trapped into a lamp,
infinite cosmic power,
itty bitty living space.
There you go. I was like, are you just gonna leave me hanging? Are you gonna make me do the line?
No, I was making the little thing to the camera just for your benefit.
My benefit. Yeah, I do like the way the cartoon Aladdin's delivery of the line. Like he's trying to do it genie style, but can't quite pull it off successfully. But
it's probably Aladdin's funniest moment.
Yeah. He's not really cracking many jokes throughout the cartoon. So yeah, now I do like how everything just sort of undoes itself. All of the magic that Jafar did undoes itself now that he's in the lamp. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but all right.
He's
Wrap it
hey,
all up.
Aladdin snaps the gauntlet, and there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. And I am Prince
Oh,
Ali.
yeah,
So yeah, everything's back to normal. Um, Aladdin wishes for the genie's freedom, uses his third wish for the genie's freedom, and that's what sort of makes the Sultan like crack and be like, you know what, you're right, this law's stupid. I'm going
yeah,
to change. Um, it plays out better. This ending plays out better in the live action version by a
yeah.
long
He
shot.
just says, "You know what, Jasmine? You're Sultan. You can change the law."
Yeah, yeah, and I like the and I like that in the cartoon you have Genie and he's like, you know, just wish to be a prince again and they're all good. But I like it in the live action where Will Smith is like, okay, we were on the right track with the whole Prince thing, but I think there's a few changes we can make. And he started doing the whole thing. That's when Aladdin just like, I wish for freedom, just very nonchalantly, like, go,
Yeah,
man.
there's a parallel between this week's episode and last week's where we love animated Beauty and the Beast, we love animated Aladdin, but there's certain things the live action version does better.
Yeah,
Like
I
it,
I think it does minor plot details better because they have
yes,
longer movies. Um, so it makes sense they would do the minor plot details. You know, they touch down on Beauty and the Beast live action. They touch down on the curse and the rule set of the curse a little more and stuff like that. And like in this one, they just character moments I think end up being a little better in the
right.
live action. I don't think it's a better movie overall.
No, it's not.
But I like the way the ending of this one is, where it's like he frees the genie, everyone celebrates. We never even touched in the live action one where they do like this love interest subplot with the handmaiden with the
Yeah,
genie throughout the whole thing. Like they use it for like he goes on a date with the handmaiden as a distraction and all that stuff. And so
ends up with her at the end.
her at the end, and then they're all like, and Aladdin's dipped. Like he
Yeah,
made his wish, realizes like, well, I'm not a prince, and that's why I've been exposed. So he's out. So he never gets to see like Jasmine get turned into the Sultan
nope.
or anything. And so yeah, and then it's her coming out and sort of doing the whole like, it's like, hey, where do you think you're going? But in this one, it's just like, all right, well, they don't even get married at the end of this one. They just sort of like it's implied that they're going to get married
Right.
because there are it takes two movies for them to get married.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
why just stretch it out?
so yeah, so and then you get the marriage in the live action one, and like a dance number, and
Like which is another good dance. Will Smith likes these dance numbers in his movies.
can't blame him. I mean, like between side by side, it's like here is Men in Black, and here's Aladdin, and it's like yeah, cool.
No,
A rap number and a dance scene. Yeah, I'm here for
it
it.
actually reminds me. So I don't know if you ever seen the movie he did Hitch, where he
Yes,
plays like that end sequence is the exact same thing as this.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So that's Aladdin. That's his 1992's wonderful, wonderful Aladdin.
great movie.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, fantastic movie. It's a very interesting like cast because it's one of those things where like the guy that plays Aladdin
It's Steve from Full House.
is Steve from Full House, and like he has two things to his credit: Steve from Full House and Aladdin. And it's like he
Yeah,
doesn't do like he's never had much of a career outside of that. Like he's been in a lot of TV, but like that was all before Aladdin, and then like after Aladdin, it was like a single episode of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego or something. Like,
I'm pretty sure he shows up on the Netflix Full House at some point. I've never seen it, but
oh, he absolutely does because
okay.
And like he's like as a recurring character, he's a
Okay.
doctor in the Fuller House and stuff. So like, yeah, he's in like I think he's in like every episode of season 2 and several episodes of season 1. So, and hey, if Disney's doing something with Aladdin, he's there.
Yep.
To this day, they haven't, like, with the exception of live action Aladdin. Uh, uh,
They need voiceover work. He's doing it.
Yeah. Is there an Aladdin video game? It's like, here he is. He's like, oh, here he is in Kingdom Hearts. Here he is in Disney Infinity. Here he is in whatever cartoon we're putting out. So,
I mean, hey, good for him for
yeah,
like making a like
it's like I
what
don't have.
27 years after the fact.
Yeah, it's if you like look at his Wikipedia page, like his IMDb or his Wikipedia profile photo is him from 1993. So it's like, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. But he's also uh, like a TV producer too at these days, like and like film producer and stuff. So like, I think because um, he was like executive producer of that recent Muppets TV series,
Oh, okay.
and
That didn't last for long.
it lasted like 5 episodes. And what else? He was like Gallivant, that one ABC.
Oh,
Um,
Gallivant. I love that
yeah,
show.
yeah, he's yeah, he's producer for that and
Okay.
Blackish and the 90210 reboot. So like, yeah, he did like a lot of producing stuff in recent years, like not like since Aladdin. Like within the last, like, 5 years, he's been doing a
Yeah,
lot of
because once Aladdin was done, he still like did another like 4 seasons of Full House, didn't
Full
he?
House. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, so and Robin Williams just sort of overshadowed everybody in this film because like it really is like the only, because at this point in time Disney wasn't doing like that kind of celebrity. Like
No.
you may have somebody that is recognizable, like in the old stuff, where it's like, yeah, he was like a recurring cast member on this, or like you just know him as a character actor, so like the American people would know him, but not like it's not like Robin Williams famous. It
Yeah.
is,
Today, it's been basically like we got Billy Joel to be a dog.
yeah, yeah, like so, yeah,
Gilbert.
Jasmine.
It. Yeah.
Jasmine ended up not really
No.
doing a whole lot. A couple of things, couple of uh, random things, mostly just recurring her role as Jasmine. A lot of times, like she did the voice of Jasmine in Ralph Breaks the Internet. Um,
Did she do the animated series as well?
she was the animated series Jasmine as well, and I'm pretty sure um, all of the. I'm pretty sure all of the. I guess not. I was thinking like, did she do the follow-ups? But it doesn't look like it. There it is. Yeah, there she is. So she, in the Return of Jafar and Aladdin, King of Thieves. So yeah, that was her role. I mean, you get that with a lot of these early on. Like from here on out, it's not that anymore.
No.
But at this point in time, Robin Williams is like the biggest star they've ever had in one of their films. So
It's pretty much the star talent in this movie is Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah,
Which
because
is insane to think about.
Yeah, because like in let's see, film wise, Jafar didn't do much. He was like a Shark Tale at some point. He was in, but like if Frank Welker is just voice actors known because he was both. He was Abu in this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. He was.
Yeah. So and Jim Cummings was in it because of course he was, because that's just how he was in. He's also in every single cartoon, and also he was in so much Disney stuff already. Anyways. So
Jim Cummings, Tug's collar.
Homer Simpson smiling politely.
Yeah.
So yeah, this movie started its life in the 80s.
Oh.
Howard Ashman, who we know from Beauty and the Beast, actually sort of pitched the idea initially. He thought a musical adaptation of Aladdin was like something that Disney would be interested in. So he even like wrote the treatment for it and everything out the gate. Um, I do like this where he thought of it as a 30s like style like campy musical
Huh.
with a Cab Calloway / Fats Walker or Fats Waller style genie. It's like
Just Cuphead Aladdin.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting to think like yeah, Ashman was sort of you know the driving force behind it initially, and it was his passion project. But like it's sort of thought that um, like Disney was sort of just like we're not really interested in this. But how about you do Beauty and the Beast? Like they went to him and like about Beauty and the Beast. That ended up being his project. I think probably further his Aladdin like
Yeah.
stuff. So
Hey, you're onto something, buddy.
yeah. Um, so yeah, that's where you end up getting some of that stuff. Uh, hey, and guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Guess who didn't like the script when they first got the initial screenplay draft?
Oh, was it Jeffrey Katzenberg?
How did you guess it was Jeffrey
Because
Katzenberg?
it's a running gag on the show. He's a
Yeah,
disagreeable cuss.
yeah, yeah. His phrasing is that the script didn't engage. Um, and so
Buzzwords.
yeah, it's known within Disney as the Black Friday, and he demanded. So this is April of 1991. He demanded that they rewrite the entire screenplay and not change the release date of the movie of November of '92.
Wow.
So in April of '91, they were tasked to start Aladdin from the ground up again. Uh,
I
so
mean, they pulled it off, but
yeah, so they ended up changing um, kind of everything. Katzenberg demanded that basically don't use Ashman's like treatment in any way, and uh, his exact words are 86 the mother, the mom's a zero. So they remove the mom from the story altogether because the mom is a central character in the actual Aladdin story.
right.
He's not just a street like orphan. He actually still has his mom. He just doesn't have a dad. And it's like it is like okay, like when they get the lamp in the book or the story, it's like he wishes for a meal, and like they get a meal, and they can like they polish the dishes that it came on and could sell them because they were gold. And then like the mom is like cleaning the lamp to because remember he already has a weaker genie. He doesn't know that the
Right.
lamp's anything, so she's polishing the lamp to sell it, and that's when they release the genie and everything and all that stuff. So
And like you said, there's no limit on wishes in that one.
yeah, so yeah, they kill off the mom character, add more Jasmine. I forget what her name is in the actual Aladdin story, but I also like don't think I could um, do justice to its pronunciation because
Right.
I don't think anyone's ever adapted it wholly 100%. They always do their take on it and take on that name because the name is a very like Arabic name. So
Yeah. It's like 1001 Arabian Nights. Is that what it is?
it goes by a few different names. It's like 1001 Arabian Nights is the Mr. Magoo adaptation.
Yeah. Let's be honest, the real true version of the story.
The true version is the Popeye the Sailor Man adaptation.
There you go.
It's a 2-part adaptation of Aladdin. and olive oil as so yeah, Aladdin. They sort of rewrote Aladdin to make him Harrison Fordish was sort of the thing, like like a little more. Yeah, like Indiana Jones, I guess. Less Han Solo, more Indiana Jones, where it's
Yeah,
just sort of like he's self-reliant and can get in a scrap if he needs to, but kind of doesn't.
I did like in the live action one. He's like, oh, he's just doing parkour.
Yeah, I do like. Apparently, Iago was his original idea for Iago was an uptight British archetype.
So basically, Zazu.
Basically, the next movie they ended up getting that bird, but they saw Beverly Hills Cop 2,
Okay.
and that's where they saw Gilbert Gottfried, and that's when they changed Iago and got Gilbert Gottfried for the role.
Then he went on to be a smoke detector in PSAs.
Yeah, smoke detector and a duck. So
Yeah, the Affleck duck.
the Affleck duck. Oh boy, that smoke detector. Nightmares.
Yeah, it's a frightening.
Yeah,
Look up. Okay,
yeah,
guys, look up.
yeah.
I think it's 90s, 80s, maybe.
90s, definitely 90s.
Okay, it's 90 fire PSA. Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, he
And look
has the
at smoke.
he has the voice to be a smoke detector. So like, and I think the most upsetting part is that it's a practical effect. It's a puppet that looks like a smoke detector that also looks like Gilbert Gottfried. Like they
It's
gave the smoke,
haunting.
yeah, they gave the smoke detector Gilbert Gottfried's like iconic features of like squinty eyes and like it's like Gilbert Gottfried always looks like he's trying to do an impersonation of Sean Connery doing the Asian impersonation,
Yeah,
and like it's like this. Yeah. So
it's go look up that Nightmare Fuel.
yeah. So by the end of '91, Katzenberg was happy with the results of what they had with Aladdin. So went into went into the screenplay, started moving forward. Um,
He's not around much longer, right?
no, no, Katzenberg. Well, when is Katzenberg out of Disney? Because he ends up. Let's see, Walt Disney Studios. He was there until looks like 93, 94. 94,
Okay.
because that's when Wells died, I think. Yeah, 94. Wells died in the helicopter crash, and then he got in an argument about becoming Wells' successor, and um, Eisner was kind of not having it, and it ended up causing a lot of problems for Disney. Katzenberg, look, Katzenberg's a disagreeable character throughout the entire history of this, but also at the same time, like with this situation, I don't know if he was right or wrong. What I do know is the final thing that after he told them that this doesn't work, do it over, you end up getting this movie.
Which is a great movie.
Yeah, and the same thing would have happened with Beauty and the Beast that we talked about before, and things like that. Like his rash decisions and his poor decision making, it theoretically ruined the Black Cauldron, but you also end up with some of these movies.
Maybe his biggest crime is lack of tact.
Yeah, he's well known to like he was well known as just being loud, boisterous, like drinking like a case of Diet Cokes a day, and like yeah, I mean the Diet Coke kid, John Katzenberg in town. So
That sweet aspartame. But
yeah,
would we have gotten DreamWorks and Shrek in those movies? Who knows?
yeah. I mean, obviously, I mean, no, because Katzenberg was like wholly behind, like the moving forward with Disney. But like the real question is some of the other Disney stuff. Disney would be in a different place if it wasn't for the Katzenberg situation, um, because for various reasons, Katzenberg's departure led to a lawsuit that was protracted for years and cost the studio more to pay him off in this lawsuit than if they just like paid off his contract that Eisner refused to do. And on top of failures that they were having in the theme parks left and right and everything. Like Disney was just making bad decisions, or Eisner in particular was making some bad decisions, and that ended up costing everything for a while, almost close to losing the studio through buyouts and stuff. But
they were thankfully making money with the animated films, but
yeah, but that wasn't translating into anything else.
yeah.
So it's not until years later where things are like they're making money hand over fist with these movies, but where does it go? I mean, like you waste all this money to buy ABC, which in the long run worked out good, but at the time it was sort of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Building a theme park in Paris that nobody wanted, wasting money designing like Eastern, Virginia-based theme park for Disney's America, or
which never saw the light of day.
Never saw the light of day, or wasting money on countless West Coast Disney theme parks that Westcott and things like that, which again never saw the light of day. Wasting this money on Katzenberg because you refused to pay him. You screwed things up left and right in a time where you were making probably some of the most money the studio had ever been bringing in.
Yeah, the Disney that we know now, it's like they're gonna buy this thing. They're gonna buy this thing. Back then they bought ABC. And that was a big deal.
Yeah.
At the time, they had loose association with Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And loose association with the Muppets. Have they bought the Muppets yet or no?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because they were getting ready to sort of acquire the Muppets and everything.
Right.
And Henson died.
Yeah.
And sort of everything sort of fell apart. There was actually a situation that's fascinating that it was going to be introducing the Muppets big time at the theme parks. And it was going to be
those commercials. Yeah.
What was going to happen was Mickey Mouse, you work very hard, so you go on vacation for the summer, and we'll watch the theme park, and that's like the Muppets. So there was going to be a stretch of time where Disneyland was turned into Muppets Land. And so it was going to be the marquee has the Muppets on it, and iconic Disney attractions were going to be Muppetized and things. It was a major thing that they were going
through. That would have been I don't know if that would have necessarily been a good thing.
I don't know either, but it's
and I love the Muppets, but
yeah, it's a wild thing that they were going to end up doing. And the Great Movie Ride was going to have a parody of it where it was it's the Great Movie Ride, at Disney World that used to be there. But it was the Muppets version of the Great Movie Ride, where it was going to be basically Muppets parodies of things in the Great Movie Ride and stuff like that. There was a point where Disney was sort of all in on the Muppets. And, now we're at where we're at with Muppets. So,
yeah.
I like that Robin Williams, while working on this movie, it was him. He was doing the voiceover in between shooting sessions of Hook and Toys. So when he's not working on those, he's coming in and doing his VO work for Aladdin.
He's getting a lot of work at this point.
Yeah, it's estimated that Robin Williams improvised 52 characters.
I could see that.
The supervising animators for the Genie reviewed his recorded dialogue and selected the best ones that would work in the movie.
It's we got 6,000 hours dialogue.
Yeah. He was given topics and dialogue suggestions, but they fully gave him full, you just improvise. That's what we got you here for. That's what you're doing. Just improvise. So he did all this stuff. He did 52 different characters, and then the animators were just okay, we could do this one. It's funny to see which ones they ended up picking out too, because it's boy, some of these are kind of tenuous. I wonder what the failed ones are.
Well, I have a pretty good idea, considering that a voice Robin Williams used to like to do a lot.
Yeah.
Due to his life in San Francisco, he did a very stereotypical voice. So yeah.
I mean, and he did sneak in a couple of moments like that too. There is the one scene where they're flying away on the carpet, and he's It's like I'm growing fond of you, Al. I just want to pick out drapes with you. And it's like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay. But yeah, it was fun. Like I said, there was Disney references in here. You have like Sebastian and Pinocchio and Goofy. So and the uh, the Hawaiian shirt that he's wearing in it is a reference to a short that was shot for Disney MGM Studios in the late '80s.
Huh.
So it's like that's a reference to another Disney thing that Robin Williams was involved
I
with.
thought it was reference to like Lassiter or something.
Yeah. I mean, you would think, but no, it's a
Yeah.
completely different. It's still a Disney reference. So, you can't really talk about this movie too much without talking about um, the situation with Robin Williams in this movie.
Will work for art.
Yes, but he didn't. That was just Disney trying to make him work for art.
Yeah.
So he got paid to scale for this movie because it was like he was so thankful for the success he got from Good Morning Vietnam that he agreed to play the genie for scale, which is at the time $75,000. Scale is the bare bones minimum you can be paid to work on a project.
A lot of money from you and me, but
Yeah,
not for Robin friggin' Williams.
not for Robin Williams, not for a lot of people in Hollywood, but scale is like because you're in the union. If you want to hire an actor, it's going to cost you at minimum $75,000. And at the time, his rate, if you wanted him in a movie, was $8 million. So he's used to like for toys and Hook that he's currently making, he's making $16 million between those two roles. He's only taking 75,000 for this role. And there was rules. He had rules in place for Disney because he didn't really want to do it, but also at the same time, as we said, he was thankful for them because Touchstone was owned by it's a Disney. It's their adult movie sort of thing. It's their PG-13 R-rated.
Roger Rabbit Studio.
Yeah. So he had some rules in place. You do not mention me in marketing. So like, don't say starring Robin Williams. Do not use my voice in marketing. Do not use my likeness to sell merchandise. He was unable to take up, and the genie could only take up 25% of the movie poster, no more.
And they didn't listen to any of that, apparently.
They listened to virtually none of it. Yeah. Because Toys was coming out like a month later, and that was a big movie for Robin Williams.
And not a good one.
No, it's actually a very, very bad movie. But the studio financially decided, like, we have to use Robin Williams to promote this movie. Like,
yeah,
it was that was their financial decision. It was, we're going to mention him. So, particularly the poster stuff, because the genie was the selling point of the movie. So, like, the first rule they break is he's going to take a prominent role on the movie poster. And make the other characters smaller, So it's like, and like in the book that came out at the time, it listed Robin Williams as the genie and the peddler, like before everyone else in the cast.
And before you knew who the peddler's voice was.
Yeah. So, they were forced later on, though, to change it. So he was just the actor signed on to play the genie. It's sort of like how when Marvel was reprinting Miracle Man comics, they have to, like, they're reprinting the old issues, and the writing credit is the original author, because it's Alan Moore, and he's not exactly thrilled to be involved with comic books at all, ever.
Or he hasn't really liked much.
doesn't like much. He's a curmudgeonly old man that hates everything.
And
Um,
worships of Snake.
yeah, so it's the similar kind of thing where it's a Voldemort situation of like you cannot be named. Um, they did not use his name in the commercials. They held true to that, but
That's
they certainly used him in the commercials.
I think they might have used him like in the the commercials for the VHS release, like starring Robin Williams as the genie.
Yeah, um, and they used him to they were selling that you were using the genie to sell toys and Happy Meal tie-ins, which I think that bothered him more than anything else. That was the thing he was most against. You usually hear about like using him to sell products. It's
Right.
one thing to sell the movie; it's another thing to use me to sell products. Like
Some products to kids.
yeah, it's like selling products and fast food to children. Um, so, uh, so yeah, and Mork and Minnie, he didn't really have a say in any of that. Like there were Mork dolls and stuff, but he
But
didn't lunch boxes and everything. That's because they own that likeness, So it's
by the time this rolls around, he's got some more stroke.
yeah, and like I said, they own, and he was even saying they own the likeness of Mork. When it's the genie, it's only two things: it's my name and my voice, and using my voice to pitch stuff is, he hated that. Um, so yeah, things weren't going good. He was not having a good relationship with Disney at this point. This is where we mentioned it earlier. Um, Disney, as a uh, sorry, they sent him a Pablo Picasso painting, estimated to be worth $1 million. It didn't help.
No.
Didn't help at all. And supposedly the reason why it didn't help was because it was one of his self portraits,
Mm-hmm.
and which is much more subdued than typical Picasso. And Robin Williams' interior decorating was anything but subdued.
It's the freaking Picasso.
Yeah, so he didn't do Return of Jafar,
The sequel.
that came out. Instead, Jafar was replaced with Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah.
As
Who did an okay job.
he did
Yeah, I
fine.
think he did the series too, right?
Yeah, yes. And then and Katzenberg was fired and
Yep.
eventually replaced. And Joe Roth took over and basically wrote an actual apology, like a very public, real apology to Robin Williams about how Disney handled the whole situation. Patched it up, and Robin Williams agreed to return for the second sequel, Aladdin the King of Thieves. So Aladdin the King of Thieves has him as the genie again.
Yep.
So
Oh. And there's even the gag in there about will
yeah,
work for art. Yeah.
yeah, and apparently they actually had already made the movie with Dan Castellaneta's voice work.
Oh, really?
So they had to replace all of it. Yeah, Dan Castellaneta already did the work for it, but then they replaced it once they were able to patch things up with Robin Williams. They had him come in and they changed some of the script around because of Robin Williams being involved again. And of course, like you're not just going to be able to film it the way you already had it made.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, there you go. Let's talk about. We talked about you have legacy wise 2 sequels,
2 sequels.
straight to video, a TV series that was really successful.
Yep.
I was like surprisingly successful for all things considered.
It was late era Disney afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, and most recent live action remake.
Yep.
On top of that, you have a very successful Broadway musical,
Mm-hmm.
and for years at like Disney's California Adventure, they actually have a stage adaptation of Aladdin there too. It's recently replaced with Frozen, the California Adventure, but yeah, so also that was it had a standing in the theme parks.
But not a huge one, though. I don't remember seeing like a lot of.
Well, okay, so at Disneyland, there's not a whole lot of Aladdin stuff, there used to be the Oasis,
Mm-hmm.
which is now the Tropical Hideaway at
Oh, okay.
California Adventure. It used to be the Oasis, and it used to be like a sit-down restaurant-y kind of place, and eventually warped into um, like a bring the kids there, and Jasmine will read a story to the kids kind of thing. And that was that at Disneyland. This is at Disneyland. Also, in one of the stores in Adventureland is the magic lamp that you can actually like rub, and it's an interactive thing.
Right.
Disney World's a different situation. There's actually a ride at Disney World. There's a magic carpet ride that's sort of like Dumbo, but you're on magic carpets.
That'd be kind of cool.
And some more like iconography, spitting camels that look kind of in the style of Aladdin kind of thing and stuff like that. So it has a different presence at Disney World than it does Disneyland. Video games. Let's talk about video games because that's a fun.
So there's two schools basically. I find
Yes.
the correct one and the incorrect one.
The big, like, there were other Aladdin games. But we're just
Tiger LCD, which we always talk about.
LCDs, Game Boy, Game Gear, other more recent things and stuff.
I think there's a NES game too, maybe.
Yeah, but the most important is in the never-ending battle, the console wars of the '90s. You had the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo, and each one of those had a different version.
The Super Nintendo one was made by Capcom.
Yes.
The Sega Genesis one made by Shiny.
Yeah, I think, and it was a little more
in-house too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was more Disney Disney focused.
They actually had animators that worked on the movie work on the game.
It was Virgin Games for the
Virgin Games.
It's well known for having traditional animation from Disney animators in it. So it had the visuals more akin to the movie than the Super Nintendo version.
It's easily one of the best Sega Genesis games.
Yeah, and there's a yearly video game convention in Seattle called the Penny Arcade Expo, or PAX. And one year I went, there was actually a panel that was people arguing about which is the better game.
I don't see how there's an argument, but okay.
Yeah, I there's something to be said about the fact that the Super Nintendo version is sort of more. It's more akin to how Aladdin would probably have, like, no weapon,
right?
And that kind of stuff, and it's Japanese developed, so it's much more platformy.
Yeah.
While the Sega Genesis version is like Western developed and more action oriented, it's a infinitely funner game. You have a scimitar weapon. You can actually sort of feel like you're defending yourself.
Maybe it boils down to what system you owned as a kid.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, you're wrong if your favorite version is the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, I mean, this game actually became a pack-in game at some point.
Yeah, like if it's the year 2019 and any one of these games is at your fingertips at all times, and if you still choose the Super Nintendo version over the Sega Genesis version, you're just wrong and you're being stubborn.
Yeah, like if like next we'll talk about the Lion King games, and they're virtually the same for both systems.
Yeah,
but without this Aladdin game, that's how we got Earthworm Jim. Yes, pretty much Shiny got its kind of.
I think Tommy Tallarico did some of the music on the Genesis.
I think you're right. I know for sure. You have Dave Perry in that team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So. So some great music in.
It still looks really good.
Yeah. Well, because like I said, like the animators were involved in it. Like it was a big deal. Like it's definitely one of the better Disney games for sure.
To this day.
Yes, exactly. But again, also one of the best Genesis games. Like
I would say it's a top 10 Genesis game.
So yeah, I absolutely absolutely love those video games.
Yeah, me too.
Obviously, when this movie came out, it was a huge success.
You don't say.
Yeah, um, critically and financially, it was huge. Most people agreed that sort of like it's a great movie. Maybe not as good as a couple of the most previous ones. Like not as good as Beauty and the Beast, and probably not as good as Little Mermaid. Sort of general consensus.
Hmm.
Um, there was a lot of criticisms for the movie because of how stereotyping it was. I mean,
Yeah,
so many of the characters have very exaggerated stereotypical features of the Middle East,
right.
and there was, and they're absolutely right. And there's nothing I could say to argue against any of that.
No, no, it's
Yeah, like with the exception of Aladdin and Jasmine, who, like, as time went on, like I was watching a trailer for one of the straight to video sequels, and I was like, are they making them like the Sultan, Aladdin, and Jasmine are like the skin tone is getting lighter and lighter?
yeah, noticeably lighter.
Yeah, you're just like, So I mean that was, and there was controversy around that, around the original lyrics of Arabian Nights, um, Raja's supposed line of good teenagers take off your clothes. It's
Yeah,
like a subliminal message that was in there.
it
Uh,
was. Aladdin said, "Scat, good tiger, take off and go."
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah. So it's dumb, and I think because it was so controversial, like they ended up just cutting the line altogether.
yep,
So like in modern versions of this movie, the line's not in there. Like they even say in commentary, it's like, no, there's no way we could have gotten away with something like that. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
have the VHS copy that, or we did, that had the
yeah,
actual line in it. So
yeah. And there's like, you know, there was some also issues with this similarities between this movie and the Thief and the Cobbler that we talked about recently with Richard
right,
Burton. Like, yeah, there is, but it's just going to be like we're going to talk into similarities to previously existing works next week for sure.
yeah, yeah,
But a lot of the stuff is, and it always boils down to you're making an adaptation of something, like, or you're setting it in a certain time, a certain place, a certain area, and there's bound to be similarities.
I mean, they're adapting it from a very old story,
Yeah,
and they're
and they
trying to like
do
make it not violent.
they do a relatively good job at retelling that story. Like they hit the majority of the beats.
Yeah,
I'm actually really impressed, and it's relatively faithful, all things considered. It's not 100% faithful, and they obviously take some liberties with a lot of stuff, but at the same time, like the major story beats are there, and it has a good message behind it in the end.
yeah,
So,
but
so yeah,
it's got the same, like, doesn't matter where you come from kind of thing.
do you remember years and years ago, and not that long ago, but there was going to be another live action Aladdin before this one came out?
I remember there were rumors about it, but I don't know if I
It's,
ever saw anything more than that.
it was going to be called Genies. And it was going to be a live action prequel to Aladdin. And at one point, Disney said that they were going to make this movie using unused lines that Robin Williams performed.
Uh, this is before he passed away, though.
Yes, and then, but no, because this is 2015.
Oh, so that would have been, yeah, that would have been distasteful, I think.
Yeah, but his will actually states that Disney cannot use his likeness for 25 years.
After the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After his death, they can't like there's 25-year grace period, and then you can then it's
Yeah.
game on, I guess, from Disney.
So,
Um,
so there's a bunch of audio that they have that you just can't use.
yes. So yeah, if it's one of those weird things, or if that wasn't in his will, we'd probably have some sort of weird live action Aladdin prequel with Robin Williams in it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's insane to think about. Like Disney was like going forward with this project
The
and
fact
talking
though,
about it publicly.
the fact that was even in his will showed you that maybe even though he kind of smoothed things out with Disney, it still wasn't great.
Yeah, it's like he made the joke was like the only reason Mickey Mouse has 3 fingers is because so he can't pick up the check.
Yeah.
It was an exact line from Robin Williams. So that's you know, I still it's the funniest thing in the world to me when watching the new live action Aladdin and the words "a Guy Ritchie film" appear on the screen.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like,
Weird. Just like what? What? Really?
yeah, because it doesn't
Lock,
feel like a Guy Ritchie film.
yeah, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, and Aladdin.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Guy Ritchie, what? Like I don't know what. I never bothered looking in like what his reasoning was for doing this adaptation, why he
to
was
his
involved.
to his credit, this is for like those 2 movies.
Yeah,
There's no like really like rough around the edges British guys threatening to kill each other.
yeah, just a bunch of other characters threatening to constantly kill
Yeah.
each other. Yeah, so let's do you want to? I'm going to ask every time now. Do you want to rank it, or do you want to like go through the movies and then
I think let's rank it first.
rank it first?
Yeah.
Okay, I got my lists here ready to go. Nick,
Yeah.
Robin Hood,
No.
Beauty and the Beast,
No.
Jungle Book.
Yes.
Yes. Lad. Should I call you Al or Din or Lad?
Or just Laddie.
Just Lad. All right. So Nick, number 3 on your list.
That's big for me because I love Jungle Book, but Aladdin's really good, man. It's
all right.
really
The JJ list.
okay. I have a prediction. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah,
Let's I'm gonna say the words and you're gonna say yes or no. Ready?
Okay.
Jungle Book.
No.
You're wrong already.
Okay.
I'm Aladdin. I love Aladdin more than Jungle Book. I love Aladdin more than everything else on this list so far. It's my number 1 favorite movie.
It's your number 1 favorite movie for 1 week.
For one single week.
For 1 whole week.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
We both think highly of this movie. It's pretty hard to argue against this being. I mean,
I watched this yesterday, and I've seen this movie dozens of times.
Yeah.
Like I would say, virtually yearly since it came out in 1992.
Yeah. It's.
And I still laugh at the scenes where I'm supposed to laugh at. I still tear up when Genie's getting freed.
Mm-hmm.
I still think of the songs a lot, like hum things in my head and things like this movie has everything for me, and I love it. I love it deep in my soul. Like
there's an age group that you and I are in. We have JJ and I have an age gap. Spoilers, I'm old, but there's an age group where this movie kind of hits a chord with. Like I remember watching this movie like on a rainy day in like 8th grade, and my teacher's like, "We're just gonna watch Aladdin today." Like, great, let's do that.
Yeah. So this movie came out in 1992. It had a budget of $28 million. Its final worldwide gross is $504 million.
Good Lord.
It was the number 1 movie of 1992. Which is big for Disney because even things like we've had, like Beauty and the Beast and stuff, wasn't number 1. Like, this is number 1. This is the biggest movie.
This is their monster hit.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to be honest. You look at the other movies of the year that are higher grossing, and you're like, this deserves to be that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's give me the top 20.
well, I can give you the top 10.
Let's do the top 10.
So, number 1, Aladdin.
Yep.
Number 2, The Bodyguard.
It had that good song.
Yeah, that movie lived on the success of the soundtrack alone.
Of the song that Dolly Parton did better. Sorry, she did.
I'm not saying not necessarily saying it's an awful song or an awful movie.
Well, it's not an awful movie. It's got awful moments.
Yeah. Number 3, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
I love Home Alone 2.
It's exponentially worse than Home Alone 1, but that doesn't make it a bad movie.
I don't know that I agree with that. The bird lady's a problem. I don't think it's as good as Home Alone 1, but I don't think it's like tremendously worse.
I'm not saying
also JJ Turtle Doves.
Number 4, Basic Instinct.
That movie was known for one thing, basically.
Yeah. Number 5, Lethal Weapon.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. Everyone knows what that is.
Yeah, sure we do.
If you hear Basic Instinct, you know what the answer to that question is. Number 5 is Lethal Weapon 3.
That was not a good Lethal Weapon.
No. That made $322 million.
That was not Diplomatic Immunity. No, this was the one with Joe Pesci in it, I think.
Yes. Number 6, Batman Returns.
I really like Batman Returns. It's super Tim Burton-y.
Yeah. It he kind of went off the rails. Like it went like Batman is like crazy Tim Burton-y, and then Batman Returns is like pull it in.
Yeah.
Number 7, A Few Good Men.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie and iconic movie. Like so.
It also has one defining scene.
Yes. Number 8, Sister Act.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with Sister Act. That was also Touchstone, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 9, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay. I love that movie, but it's dumb.
Yes. Incredibly dumb.
But it had a great score.
Oh, yeah. And it also has Keanu Reeves in it, which
doing a British accent.
So you absolutely cannot go wrong with this movie.
No, it's great.
It's a great cast, man.
Yeah, it's a good movie in the sense of like if you could just pick out like performances, like Gary Oldman's great in this movie.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins is Van Helsing.
As the old drunk Van Helsing, lecherous Van Helsing.
Got Winona Ryder in it. And it's a Francis Ford Coppola movie, which it's this crazy thing. Like you don't. Really,
this movie is very much Hot Topic presents Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1992's adaptation of Dracula. Yeah. And rounding out the top 10, number 10, highest grossing movie of 1992. Want to take a shot? Just for fun.
I couldn't hazard a guess.
Wayne's World.
Okay.
Like
also a really good movie.
Right. I'm all in for Wayne's World.
I like most of the movies on this list.
Yeah, and okay, I'll bring you to Academy Awards. Picture of the Year.
I'm going to guess that would be 92.
You're going to be wrong. I'm just assuming because you're going to think about something I've already said or something else, and then you're going to be wrong.
No.
You should get it. You should get it. You of all people should get it.
What 90 the best picture?
Best picture of 1992.
I of all people should get it. I don't know.
Unforgiven.
Oh.
Like it's just like it's a movie where once you realize it's in 1992, you're like, oh yeah, fuck. I just swore. I'm gonna have to remember that.
This is the part where JJ swears.
Yeah, thanks. Spike the audio.
Yeah, the it's not my favorite Western.
Yeah, but like, but yeah, you have Unforgiven, but also the other nominees are The Crying Game, A Few Good Men, Howard's End, and Scent of a Woman.
None of those movies are fun.
No.
not, not a one of those like the top 10 list. There's a lot of fun movies in there.
Yeah. Like, Scent of a Woman is the closest to being remotely, like, fun, and it's not.
This boy's got integrity.
Yeah, so you got Best Director is Clint Eastwood for
Mm-hmm.
Unforgiven.
Right.
Best Actor is Al Pacino. Best Actress is Emma Thompson for Howard's End. Best Supporting Actor is Gene Hackman. Best Supporting Actress is Marissa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny.
That's right. I actually like My Cousin Vinny more than Unforgiven. JJ.
Yeah. Yeah, those are your movie those are your top 10 movies. I've now officially lost my 1992 in film. Here we go. Let's look at some of the other movies that opened in 1992, shall we?
Hmm?
I'm just scrolling through. Free Jack.
Free Check. What is? I don't know that one.
It stars Emilio Estevez, Mick Jagger, Rene Russo, and Anthony Hopkins.
That what in the what? All right then.
It's like a future, like, uh, time travel movie where they like snatch people from it's Minority Report.
Okay.
Like they're time traveling to like at the moments of their deaths and uses like the bodies. It's called Free Jacking, and it's a dystopian future, and it's it's bananas, and
It's
it stars Mick Jagger. That's all.
I have to watch it now.
I, you know what? I recommend it.
Okay.
What else we got? The Great Mouse Detective re-release.
Yeah.
On the same day as Wayne's World. Radio Flyer.
See, that was another we watched it in school movie.
It's a Richard Donner film starring Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
1992.
This is before he did North.
The Universal Pictures Sylvester Stallone Estelle Getty vehicle. Stop, or my mom
will shoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man, which is a John Carpenter movie that starring Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah.
It's a comedy.
Yes. Lawnmower Man.
I really like Lawnmower. The CG does not hold up at all.
Yeah. Oh, Meatballs 4. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My Cousin Vinny, Basic Instinct, Ladybugs.
Oh God.
The Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, soccer movie.
Soccer movie. Ugh.
Like last week you mentioned we had Robert Dangerfield. Why are they still giving him movies?
And they're giving him inappropriate movies. Like him being uncomfortably horny doing jokes with the background of Pee-wee soccer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Like Back to School, Caddyshack, that's fine.
Yeah.
He works there, but
how about White Men Can't Jump?
That's a movie that I unapologetically love.
I mentioned last week about when I brought up like, oh, bingo, I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Because I'll see any movie that's a dog movie, especially in that era, and this is when Beethoven came out. 1982.
Oh, yeah, Beethoven was like it was probably the best of the dog movies in this era.
Oh, absolutely. It was above and beyond any other dog movie that was out.
Even Beethoven's second was okay.
Yeah. Not as good, but you know.
No, it was fun.
A major animated film, Fern Gully.
There we go. We finally get to Fern Gully.
Yeah, so Fern Gully's out. So it opens the same day as a Disney movie that has I have a soft spot for and always will is Newsies.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale and Bill Pullman.
Yep.
I have various reasons for liking Newsies. In high school. I was in choir, and that was a song that the Seize the Day song was a song that I will never forget because I had to learn it. And it's a song when you're in choir, you sing a song. That's a song every day until you perform it on stage.
And now Jay is going to do a few bars.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Open the gates and seize the day. Don't be afraid and don't delay. But no, I love Newsies.
It's a musical now.
Yes, yes. It was a musical then.
Yeah, but it's like
it's a stage musical.
Yes, I want to say it's on Hulu, maybe.
Newsies? No, yeah. I own Newsies, so I don't need that.
Or just hold out for like 5 more months. It'll be on Disney Plus.
Or there'll be a remake of Newsies in theaters.
Still Christian Bale.
Still with Christian Bale.
Cursing at the boom mic guy.
He'll be the bad guy yelling at the news kids like, "Oh, good for you!
Great job! Great effing job!"
Let's see, Sleepwalkers. That's okay. Sleepwalkers is okay. The Babe, the John Goodman Babe Ruth movie.
Well, that's not a good movie.
That is not a good movie. It sounds like it should be a great movie. Yeah. It is not.
This is when John Goodman was the thing.
Yeah.
like last week he did what was it? King Ralph?
King Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Goodman, modern John Goodman, phenomenal. This era of John Goodman, like if he's not in Roseanne.
No.
Maybe don't.
Once you get to like Big Lebowski, Brother era, John Goodman. Yeah.
The 10 Cloverfield Lane, he is so unbelievably good in.
Or even he's kind of fun in Skull Island.
Yeah, no, I love him in Skull Island too.
Yeah,
I'm super into that. K2, I remember K2, and that was that isn't that mountain one that we're trying to make mountain movies a thing.
This is like Falling Alive, I think.
Yeah, Live Wire. Okay, is that Pierce Brosnan movie? Yes. Poison Ivy, Lethal Weapon 3, Alien 3.
Ugh.
David Fincher's Alien 3.
I don't know. I bought that set, dude, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get around to watching that one.
Yeah, just watch it, just for the sake of it, because it's fun to be reminded of, like, oh yeah.
I've seen it.
The creature effects in Alien 3 are fun still.
Like,
but do you know what opened against Alien 3?
What's that?
Encino Man.
See, there you go. That's a generally good movie, in my opinion.
Everyone agrees that Encino Man's a great movie.
Yeah. Also, if you don't, you're no fun.
The same day was also Far and Away, the Ron Howard movie that starred Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Right.
In 1992. Like,
they're still a thing then.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Patriot Games.
Okay. That's when Harrison Ford is playing Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. Pinocchio re-release.
Okay.
In, June. So, didn't know that. Opened the week after Batman Returns.
Not great timing.
No. League of Their Own came out.
Another phenomenal movie.
Absolutely fantastic movie.
Yeah.
The very next week after A League of Their Own is Pool World.
Boy, that's that movie. It has problems.
Lots of.
Or should I say, I have problems with it.
I think most people have problems with it. The people in it, I'm assuming, have problems with it. Going back, it's like Brad Pitt probably doesn't look back with much enthusiasm about the Cool World.
Remember when you slept with a cartoon character?
Nope, do not. You sure?
Nope.
Because it was I don't remember Cool World being a thing. Please get out of my way, security. Also the same day as Cool World opened Prelude to a Kiss, Big Whoop, but also Universal Soldier.
Hell yeah.
Roland Emmerich's best movie.
Well, I mean, I like Independence Day as well, but
Universal Soldier's better.
Dolph Lundgren's great in that movie.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Are we already in the sequel? Huh.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was like 89, I think.
Okay. This is okay.
Yeah. Bebe's Kids?
My dad loves Pepe's Kids.
What? Okay.
I don't, dude. I cannot explain it to you, but my dad loved Bebe's Kids.
Is he just a big fan of Faison Love, or is he?
My dad for being
a big Tone Loc fan.
My dad for being a old white man loves urban humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can't fault the man. He just loves every single one of the Friday movies.
He loves the Friday movies.
I guess the difference being is the Friday movies are actually genuinely fantastic.
And here's the thing: he likes Day Day better than Smokey, and I argue with him about it. Like, what? How could you like Day Day better than Smokey?
This is when the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, the Christy Swanson, Sutherland, Paul Reubens, Rutger Hauer pre-TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Whedon still worked on this though, right?
Yes, he was, because it's his screenplay.
It's his baby.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah. Three Ninjas, which turned into a franchise.
How?
The only legacy Three Ninjas has for me is the sequel that had Hulk Hogan in it, and the only reason I remember that is because he was wearing the wig, the hairpiece that he had in the movie while wrestling at the time.
Yeah. Oh, the straw looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising Cain, Brian De Palma movie, Unforgiven, Digstown. I like Digstown.
Yeah, I did until James Woods was.
yeah. James Woods ends up ruining a lot of movies that you're like, oh yeah, that's right. James
but Lewis Gossett good in it.
Lewis Gossett, Bruce Dern.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to at some point draw the line at where my art from artist.
Yeah, it gets problematic. Yeah, just like, man.
A personal favorite of mine, because of how terrible it is that it's silly, Pet Sematary 2.
Oh my god, with
so bad with Eddie Furlong.
Yeah, Clancy Brown,
and where it's a bunch of idiots and jerks that just get turned into bigger jerks and idiots through the Pet Cemetery.
Dead is better. Dead is better.
Yeah, take the subtle, haunting line from the first one and just make it like a wrestling catchphrase.
Yeah, as this woman is on fire.
Yeah. Just like, good job, guys. You really hit the subtlety. It's about as subtle as the new Godzilla movie where it has Ghidorah on the mountaintop with a cross.
Yeah.
In the foreground.
Hits you over the head with its subtlety.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a movie with Clancy Brown watching rabbits hump, this movie is for you.
Also, Fire Walk With Me opened the same day as Pet Sematary 2.
The Twin Peaks movie.
The Twin Peaks movie, and it's
the prequel.
It's a prequel. That movie's actually really good, but people hate it because it's not weird.
Yeah.
It's just like this dead serious procedural cop drama.
Like, if you want to see how we got to Laura Palmer.
Yeah. It's David Lynch being peak David Lynch without the weirdness of Twin Peaks. So it's cool. Sneakers, huh? That came out.
I love Sneakers.
There you go. Came out in 1992.
My passport is my identity. It's my identity, or my voice is my identity. Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
Who else is in that movie? I don't know. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. River Phoenix is in that movie.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Roles. Sidney Poitier is in it too.
Yep, he sure is.
Sure is. Captain Ron came out this year.
Oh God. Ugh.
Last of the Mohicans. I'm a big Michael Mann fan, so of course I've seen Last of the Mohicans.
Daniel Day-Lewis in that, right?
Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis. Glengarry Glen Ross.
Always be clothing.
Always be closing. a personal favorite of both me and you, another Disney movie. Uh, a little movie starring Emilio Estevez,
The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. I
Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
absolutely love The Mighty Ducks with a passion, and
It
I
is.
know it's a great movie.
It is a favorite of mine, and also my favorite hockey team.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What about cartoon? Did you like the Mighty Ducks cartoon?
No, I didn't.
Because it's
No, I
bad.
didn't. I relished when JJ gets a hockey team here in a year or two, and he and I could argue about.
um, no, I love the Mighty Ducks. Of all of the children's-based sports movies, it's
Yeah,
like that's my favorite. But with like the Sandlot coming up behind,
it's kind of it's the. I like the Sandlot a little bit more, but I love Mighty Ducks. The thing I take away from Mighty Ducks, because I watched heavyweights with my son recently,
yeah,
is most of the cast from Mighty Ducks is in heavyweights.
yeah, yeah. And what else? Think of um, Joshua Jackson was in Fringe, and he was like the
Yeah,
star of that show. And I was sitting there, I was like, I recognize him from something. Google, Google, Google. That's what.
I mean, Keenan is in the Mighty Ducks.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch his career trajectory.
it's like good for you, Keenan.
Yeah. The Tom Selleck baseball movie, Mr. Baseball.
I love Mr. Baseball, JJ.
I assumed you did. I just assumed you did. I didn't.
I suggest you bunt. I suggest you bunt.
Of Mice and Men.
That's the Gary Sinise one.
Yeah, and when we say the Gary Sinise one, we mean he's both in it and directed it.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, 1492. Ridley Scott just really just stinking up the joint.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ridley Scott. A River Runs Through It, Robert Redford movie, starring Brad Pitt.
Yep.
Under Siege.
Casey F. and Ryback.
Another movie that's a personal favorite of mine that I love, Candyman.
Oh, the Tony Todd.
Tony Todd. Yep.
That movie's good. It's like the last great slasher film.
It's the last, yeah, like, this was like at the end of that, like, until Scream comes along.
Yeah, this is like, but Candyman's a good way to end things.
Yeah, we're just sort of treading water until Scream sort of rears its head. Dr. Giggles.
Oh my God. I remember seeing that my family and I went to Universal Studios around the time that came out, and they were promoting the hell out of Dr. Giggles.
And The Public Eye, which is also a Universal movie at the exact same time. Pure Country. Oh man.
Oh my God.
George Strait movie.
Here's the thing about Pure Country. It's awful, but I really like Pure Country.
Here's also the thing about Pure Country. They're still making them.
Why?
That Pure Country 3 came
You know
out
what? You're
in
right.
2017.
You cannot wander. That's right, because you wandered to a Walmart, and there he is, Pure Country. Not with George Strait, though, with someone else.
Yeah. And hey, Pure Country 3. I'm trying to see if there's a name in it that's even remotely recognizable. Willie Nelson plays himself in it.
What? Okay.
Distributed by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. The production company is WWE Studios.
Oh my Lord. Well, I'm never watching that movie then. It's such good. Oh, never mind.
Reservoir Dogs.
There you go.
Quentin Tarantino's sort of breakout.
Yeah.
So, that's a big movie.
Yeah.
Passenger 57.
Always bet on black.
Love Potion number 9. Oh Lord. Malcolm X came out this year.
Did he not? Did Denzel not get nominated for that movie? He must have.
I didn't see. I have to go back and look, but 1992 is when Bad Lieutenant came out.
When what?
Bad Lieutenant came out in 1992.
Really?
I could have sworn that was an older movie, but
Yeah.
nope.
Well,
Harvey Keitel, Bad Lieutenant,
oh,
1992.
I get Bad Lieutenant mixed up with Copland sometimes.
Copland. Well,
Yeah.
even Copland is like around the same time. Like,
Oh, right.
Home Alone 2, Aladdin, The Bodyguard, The Distinguished Gentleman, A Few Good Men, The Muppet Christmas Carol.
It's a personal favorite of yours.
It's my Michael Caine is my favorite Ebenezer Scrooge.
What's the joke, JJ? How do you say his name correctly? Just say the words "my cocaine" very slowly. My cocaine.
Toys, which we talked about at length. Yeah. Here's your cast list is Robin Williams, Joan Cusack, Robin Wright, and LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx.
Very young Jimmy Fox, apparently.
Yeah, 1992 Jamie Foxx. This is like in living color era.
Yeah.
Hoffa came out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, directed by Danny DeVito. And rounding out the year, Lorenzo's Oil. Only it's Lorenzo's Oil was directed by George Miller of Mad Max fame.
Yep.
So
Does it tell you something
yeah,
or nothing?
George Miller does, because there's two things George Miller is known for: Mad Max and family movies.
Yep.
And Lorenzo's Oil is neither of those. So it's it's a cure for like a movie about like a child with a disease, like like
It's very heavy, I guess. I've
yeah,
not seen it, so I don't.
yeah, starring Nick Nolte. So
Oh,
and
he
Susan
was still
Sarandon.
around then. That's right.
Yeah, he wasn't quite he wasn't quite the train wreck that he is
Yeah.
now. So yeah, that's let's go back to the Academy Awards and see if you're right. If was he nominated for Malcolm X? I guess that would be because it was late in the year, so maybe the Academy Awards for him would be next year.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I know he didn't win for it.
Certainly didn't win, that's for sure. Let's see.
He didn't win till
Oh, there he is. Denzel Washington, Best Supporting Actor, Malcolm X.
yeah,
So,
he didn't win till Training Day.
yeah, so there we go. Aladdin. Nailed it.
It's a great movie, guys.
Love it. Number 1 on my list, number 3 on Nick's.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, another unstoppable juggernaut in this Disney March. It's sort of after next week, which is The Lion King, you start trending downward again. But it's not a steady downward trend.
Yeah, it's hard to follow up these two movies.
And the immediate one after Lion King, we'll just say it now, is Pocahontas, and that has a lot of problems.
But it's an okay movie.
Yeah, but
so, yeah, join us for Disney's Hamlet next week.
Yeah, next week Disney's Hamlet, Nick. King of the Jungle.
Dad's a ghost. His uncle usurps him. Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah. Where we'll get into a deep, long discussion about what is plagiarism.
Yeah. Yeah. Kimba, the White Lion.
But until then, thank you all again for joining us, and see you next week, and have a magical day.
Bye.